Hey y'all, I'm really doing this on a whim. Like, I don't know what I'm expecting to get out of this. Um, my little sisters told me they watch my YouTube channel, and I haven't posted videos since freshman year of college, and I'm a senior in college now, so I was like, I guess people like my personality or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what people like. But I just want to talk a little bit because I feel like there's a lot of assumptions made about me because I don't share much, which is like obviously my personal choice or whatever. Let's see if this will be a better angle. That's cute. Yeah, I'm at my dad's house in Connecticut. So there's like trees and shit. Yeah, like I stopped posting videos because first of all, I didn't want it to I didn't want to post videos just to start trying to make money. Like cuz I remember I've been on YouTube where people were posting because they literally had nothing else to do. It was just for fun. And it's like if I start my YouTube channel, I really do want it to be just for fun because YouTube channels are a lot. It takes a lot of work to sit there and edit videos and all this stuff and expect revenue back from it. Like that takes a lot of time and effort. And it's like, I'm willing to do that at some point, you know. I mean, editing for me now is it's cool. It's a lot of work, and when you're teaching yourself, it's not gonna be like peaches and cream. You don't have anybody there to edit your videos all the time or whatever. But I just want to talk about mental illness real quick because I go through very serious depressions and depressive episodes and anxious episodes. And I'm 21 now, and I'm just now realizing how severe it can be. And it's like I've been going to therapy and stuff and trying to just get my mind in a healthy state. Like everybody's like, oh my god, how did you lose weight? And then it's like when I tell them the truth, it's like they don't believe me. I guess it's hard to believe somebody like me. I don't know. I don't know what people think. But it's just like, I mean, if me sharing my experience can help somebody else, then I guess I'll share it. Because I don't want anybody to misinterpret my words, and I don't want to get on a platform acting like I know everything, because guess what? I don't. I'm just as clueless as everybody else. I've been in college for almost 4 years now, and I've never had an internship. My resume is garbage. I go to a PWI, I go to Pace University in New York City, and I've been living on campus, the whole time. And, people still, I go to class, I'm an arts and entertainment management major, which sounds super fancy, but it's really not all it's cut out to be. I'm not finna sit here and be trying to gas stuff. I'm a business student. I really don't, it's not that crucial. But, I'm definitely grateful for the position that I'm in because there's a lot of people that, didn't even get the chance to leave where they're from. And I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, for those who don't know. And, I'm very thankful and grateful that I was able to make it to New York City and stay here this whole time. And, now things are changing and, it's really freaking me out because, life is about to hit me. It's already hitting me dead in my face. It's already becoming a task. I'm already having, Like, adulting is not fun. Can we just put that out there? Adulting is garbage. I'm trying to refrain from using profanity because I know little kids are going to be watching, and that's like who watches YouTube videos nowadays, So I guess I'm going to try to refrain from using profanity, excessively. If a cuss word slips out here and there, I mean, y'all are just going to have to deal with it. I don't really know what to tell you. But, I'm just, I'm really scared, to be honest. I don't know what's going to happen next. And I'm trying to keep my faith that, things will get better for me. There's a possibility that I'll have to move off of campus, which is like super scary for me because I've been living on campus all 3 years, and this whole semester. And, next semester things might change for me. And that's something that I'm going to have to just adjust to. Like, I don't want to move off of campus, but the facts are is that it's very expensive to live in New York City in the dorms. It costs $9,100 a semester, and that's a lot. So $9,100 a semester to live in the dorm I live in. And it's very scary for me because, I've never been a commuter student, is what they call it. You get less meal plan. you don't get any flex dollars, flex dollars are like money that you can spend at restaurants that are located around Pace University. And, it's just very scary to me that, I'm going to have to change my whole, demeanor. I'm going to have to change everything that I've learned so far. And, like, I'm going to have to adjust, my habits and my style of doing work, my work ethic. I'm going to have to adjust to all of that. And it's like people think that, like, especially, like, little kids, after talking to my siblings, like, they assume that college is going to be this big fun thing. And it's like, it is fun when you're first coming in. Like, and I don't want to rip that fun away from, the kids who are already in college, and like freshmen and stuff like that. And they're just having the time of their lives because that's what I was doing my freshman year. I was having fun, not in terms of like, drinking and smoking and everything, but I was definitely, going to parties all the time. And I just stopped, like, that over the summer. Like, I just decided it was time for me to just cut some people loose, and really try to find myself. And I've been, like, on this self-love journey for, like, I guess since the summer of my sophomore year. And, I just decided because that winter was very hard for me because I was very, very depressed and I was very suicidal at that point. And, that's a assumption that people make about people with depression, or is like that you're moping around all day. But actually the reality is that the people who are the most depressed don't say anything. They don't make it known. They don't, like, they literally, what they do, save face. Like, hold on, you guys. This is irritating me. Let's see if there's another angle. Ooh. But yeah, I honestly don't know what this is, so don't worry about it. But the assumption that people make about people with, mental illnesses is that you're crazy, or that if you tell somebody, they're gonna like send you to a psych hold or whatever. If you tell a therapist or a counselor that you're having suicidal thoughts, that you're automatically gonna go in a crazy house or whatever. And all of that is just not true. And I feel like what I have to say, like, to most people, And, you know, a lot of people don't want to listen to this because it's scary. Like, to go to therapy, you automatically become accountable for your own actions. Like, if you find a good therapist, and that's one thing about it, is that a therapist should make you comfortable. Like, you should be comfortable with your therapist, you know, ethnicity, you know, their style of, you know, if sometimes it's okay to have a therapist that just sits there and listens, but I would rather have a therapist that is going to give me, you know, steps to becoming a better person. You know what I'm saying? Steps to becoming a better me, and not just a person who is going to just sit there and listen to me cry. Like, okay, yes, that's needed sometimes, but the majority of people want to know how to get better. Like, they don't want to sit there and be just talking all day, and especially talking to somebody who they feel like doesn't even understand them or their point of view. Especially if it's, for instance, I'm a black person, so if I'm sitting there talking to a white person, they're never going to be able to understand my struggles as a person of color or as a black woman. They're never going to understand that, because they themselves can only sympathize. They cannot empathize with me on that level. So it's like, finding a good therapist is the first step. Or first of all, the first step is acknowledging that there's a problem. Like, acknowledging that, you know what, I've been like not being able to get out of bed, or I've been staying up all night watching the sunrise, and, you know, I'm tired of being in this state. I only get a couple of hours of sleep a night, and then I have to wake right back up and go to class. And, you know, I have to function properly in class, and then I have to go and sit in this predominantly white institution, PWI, and I have to, you know, assimilate to what societal norms are for me as a black student. Like, I have to act white in order to be, you know, heard, or when I speak in class, I'm not listened to. Like, my comments are brushed over because people automatically assume I'm saying something funny, which, you know, I like being funny and everything, but, you know, sometimes I'm being very serious, and I don't want to sit here and be, you know, like, it's not that funny. Like, relax. Like, obviously I was saying something that I felt like needed to be said that was missing from the conversation, but it's like, because I haven't had all these internships and whatever, and it's like, people don't see my accolades on the internet, they assume that I'm not doing anything, or that I'm not working towards anything, which is like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I really don't, and that's just being honest. And most people get to this point in their senior year of college, and they don't know either. Like, everybody is figuring this out as they go. Nobody has like a solid plan. Like, and some people do, honestly, some people do, and they work towards those goals, and they complete those goals, and that's awesome. And I commend those people who are able to get up and, you know, do what they do. But like, when it comes to mental illnesses and depression, it makes it difficult for you to complete daily tasks. So I'm not going to be, you can't just say to somebody who's depressed, well, you just got to get up and work harder. I'm sure they've been trying to get up and work harder. Like, I'm sure if that was easy for them to do, they would have done it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for somebody to sit there and tell you that you're not doing enough and you're doing as much as you can do, I'm here to let you know that it's okay. Like, what you're doing is enough, you know, and just acknowledging that there is an issue going on with you will definitely help you move to the next steps, which is, you know, trying to get some help. Like, get some help, you know. And I just realized that, you know, I'm only sabotaging myself by sitting here and acting like I don't have a problem. Me going out and laughing and giggling and, you know, all of this stuff with, you know, people who I call my friends, you know, it's not benefiting me in any form or fashion, because at the end of the day, I'm not getting my work done. I'm failing my classes. I'm going home, and, you know, after all the fun is over, I'm back in my bed crying and upset and don't know what I want to do. Nothing is motivating to me. The things that used to be fun for me were no longer fun. And, you know, I just decided that summer, so I guess, what summer is not 2019, so I guess that was the summer of 2017, I was just like, you know what, I gotta go to therapy. I gotta figure out what's going on, because this is not fun. Like being super anxious and depressed is not fun. Like it's the hardest thing because it's mental. So it's like nobody can see what's going on the outside. So everybody assumes that you're okay because you've gotten up. And maybe you get yourself together, and it's like a thing that keeps you going is to make sure you look presentable. And that was one of my things, is like, I do want to look presentable when I go out, and that's also like a part of my culture. We just, as black people in the South, we just like to look nice. We make sure we have earrings on, you know what I'm saying, making sure our clothes are together or whatever. And that was just, that's one thing that kept me going, is doing my hair or whatever. So for people to assume that nothing's going on because they don't see it, it's a little bit ignorant, to be real. And to sit there, and you as a person with the mental illness, not acknowledging that you have the mental illness and just leaving it at, well, I'm whatever, I'm not gonna, like, it's whatever, it is what it is. It's not what it is. Like, you have the power to change your life. You have the power to move forward. And that's why I wanted to come on here and say this, because people assume that once you start going to therapy, like, everything's fixed. No, it's not. This is a long process. And like I was saying, that was 2017. It's 2019 now. It's October the 21st, Monday, October 21st, 9:33 a.m. and on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm still going through it. I'm still trying to understand how this stuff works. I'm still trying to, find a way to love myself unconditionally. And that's really the task. That's really what's hard about it. And, I started getting into spirituality, and, because once you start to, eliminate these other things out of your life, like, I started trying to learn how to meditate. My friend PJ told me about this app called Headspace, and I recommend it to everybody I see that's, or everybody that talks to me, and, they've been having issues or whatever, and, they're feeling a little helpless. Like, I recommend them to this app, and I'm not getting paid. Like, I'm not getting paid from nothing, y'all. I don't have a job. I don't have an internship. I go to class, and that's it. Like, I was planning on doing some other stuff with my friends, but I ended up realizing that for us to go into business together, we have to be able all to communicate effectively, and we just don't. We don't communicate effectively enough to go into business together, where there are contracts to be drawn up. There's legal business and legal jargon that will be thrown into the situation. And, going into your, business with your friends can be a whole different story. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. But just understanding also that everything, you cannot have so many things on your plate and expect to get better. Like, you do have to eliminate some things, like, going out with your friends all the time. Is it really helping? Is it really healing you at this point? Like, what are you really gaining from it other than paying money to go in, have a good time for a couple of hours, or not? Because you can be stuck in your head the whole time you're at a party and just trying to act like everything's cool, and you just, doing your thing. But it's like, no, you're not really having fun. So it's like, why are you spending the money? And it's like, if I would have known that, I would have been at this position this year and probably having to move, out of the dorms for my last semester of college, or like, I would have, probably started trying to save money. But that's also the things that I realized, is that living in the past is not going to change anything. Living in the future is not going to change anything. You don't know what's going to happen, so you might as well just give up the need to control the future, because you can't. And that's what I started realizing. I can't control anything but me. So in order for me to navigate through life and work through the changes, the only constant in this life is change. The only thing you can do in this life is adjust. to the changes that happen around you. Because if you're stuck on being stagnant, or you're stuck on I'm not changing, then the world's going to change around you, and you're going to be sadly disappointed when you realize that, oh shoot, nobody's waiting on me to like change. Everybody's moving. And that's what I was realizing, is like I'm stagnant and everybody's moving around me. And the thing is that everybody wasn't moving around me. Like, it seems like everybody's moving around you, but everybody also, like I said, is just trying to figure this stuff out too, day by day. Nobody knows what they're talking about. Let's just start there. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So it's like, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take the things that make sense to you, take the things that resonate with you, and leave the rest behind. Don't sit here and, take my word as the Bible, because it's just not. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's situation is different. And that's also what I realized, is that by embracing the differences, it makes it a lot easier to navigate through life. Instead of thinking that everybody has to be the same, and like in order for you to get along with people, they have to be exactly like you. That's going to cause you a lot of pain and strife and disappointment. And there's a lot of expectations associated with, trying to make everybody be how you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is like I would get so upset about when people don't do what I would do. I'm like, but I would do this, and like, why would they do that? Because I wouldn't do. Well, because they're a whole different person than you. That's why. They're not going to do the same things as you. You can't expect people to have your priorities. Like, your priorities are the things that you hold important to you. Expectations are what other people hold important to you. And that's not, that's an expectation. Once again, it's not a realistic, idea of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, if anything, I really just, because I don't want to make this video too long, but it's just a lot of people out here hurting. You know what I'm saying? And the first step is just acknowledging that there is a problem, you guys. Like, mental illness is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's like very annoying that when people say mental illness, they're like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. Like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm just acknowledging that there's a deeper psychological issue to what's going on with me. Like, what goes on inside of you is what reflects on the outside world. So you have to change your perception in order to, live a better life. You know what I'm saying? For yourself. It's not for anybody else. It's for yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anybody else to love you? If you don't like yourself, how can you expect anybody else to like you? If you're not comfortable with what you see in the mirror, how could you expect a guy or girl or, a non-conforming, person? How can you expect them to accept you for who you are if you don't accept yourself and embrace yourself for who you are? And, it's like multiple people channels I started watching, to try to get on a self-love journey. Let me see if I can find one of them. Well, first of all, I came across Pretty Boss TV, and her name is Kendra, and she does a lot of spirituality based advice and stuff, which is awesome. And there's like tarot readings and stuff like that. And that's another thing, is like I'm pretty confused about all the spirituality stuff right now. So I'm just deciding that I'm just gonna do me right now. Because me sitting here trying to figure out what's true and what's not about spirituality drives me insane. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and I don't feel like going through it anymore. So, right now I just have to take a step back. And, I definitely believe that manifestation and things like that are real, but it's definitely about, what's your point in manifesting, If you're manifesting to try to get income or whatever, you're gonna be very, sad, because money does not buy you happiness. And this is one thing I tell people all the time. All these rich people keep trying to tell us that money doesn't buy you happiness. They have millions and they're still miserable. They have billions and they're still miserable. They're still killing themselves, like Kate Spade, or what was that guy with the show, or Robin Williams. You know what I'm saying? These are people who have millions of dollars. And if you want to talk about rappers and stuff like that, they be drinking lean, popping Xans and all this stuff. And it's like, because they're miserable, they're literally trying to numb themselves in order to get through the day. And it's like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Like, that's not fun. You know what I'm saying? Being numb like that is not fun. You know, like, I smoke weed, and I started realizing that it was becoming an addiction for me, because I was addicted to what the weed was doing for me. Not, you know, when you're using it recreationally and it's not like, oh, I had a bad day, I want to smoke. That's not the way to go, because you're gonna automatically go to that. That's gonna be your coping mechanism. You know, when you're trying to cope with something, it's you're trying to cover up, you're trying to mask the real problems, but you're not actually dealing with what's actually going on. So if I could give any advice, it would just be to first, you know, acknowledge that there's a problem. Acknowledge that, you know, you're not happy with yourself how you are right now. And that's literally okay. Like, this life was meant for us to go on a journey, to find ourselves, to be better, you know, in society, be better parts of a collective, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all humans and we all live on this earth. And it's like, you know, in order for your life to get better, you gotta start with you. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. But like, on some real stuff, that's very true. And it's like, I just started looking myself in the mirror and like, you know what? I'm not feeling me right now. I don't like what I look like right now. I was 185 pounds, you know, because I was morbidly depressed. And that's also another thing, is that your mind starts playing tricks on you. Or your mind controls your entire body. Think about it. If you're brain dead, you're dead, right? If you're in a hospital bed and you're hooked up to tubes and they're keeping you alive from machines because your brain has stopped functioning, you're not alive. You're not living a life worth living. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I realized, is that my mind, my brain controls my entire body. It's an organ like the rest of our organs. If we'll sit here and it's like, oh, you know, our skin is our organ. We want our skin to look nicer, so we put different things on, or we put makeup on to try to cover up what's going on with our skin. But the real thing is, like, your mind is doing things to your body to show you that it's time to just chill out for a second. So my body was giving me weight. My body was putting weight onto me, you know, because I've always, you know, not always, and but I'm a naturally slim person. And, you know, once I got in college, you know, you gain a freshman 15, which that inevitably happens because you're in a different place, and you're also, you know, you're eating food, like, especially once you get to college, like, you know, you have all these options of food and stuff, so you're just eating whatever, you know, you're just having fun, you're going out, you're partying, and, you know, you're not getting much sleep because, you know, you're like, I'm living the life, I want to just go, you know, I'm having fun. And especially me being in New York City as a freshman, I was just, you know, I'm trying to have fun, I'm trying to make new friends, you know, I'm trying to live, you know, this New York City lifestyle. And, you know, it's fun for a little while, but it gets old, and, you know, your body starts showing you that it's time to slow down, like, chill, like, slow down, you guys, like, you're doing too much, you have too much on your plate, it's time to just sit down. And it's like, you know, I would be constantly trying to make other people laugh, and it's like, I wouldn't be laughing behind closed doors, I would be sad, you know what I'm saying, I would be depressed. And it's like, I just had to realize that, you know, I'm trying to pour things into other people's cup to make them feel better, and I have nothing left to pour. And so my body was slowing me down, making me gain more and more weight. And I went from, you know, because in high school, I hurt my ankle and I had to have surgery. So during that time when I wasn't able to dance or exercise or do anything that I was usually doing, I went from 135 to 155. And then once I got in college, I started slowly going up. And then by, excuse me, by last year, you know, my junior year, I was, you know, 185 pounds. So my body was slowing me down, and then that's when I realized, you know what, it's time to do something. It's time to do something, because I know what the real issue is. Like, I don't like me. I don't like myself. So, you know, I gotta learn how to do that. Gotta learn how to like myself, because if I don't like myself, what am I doing? Like, what's the point? So, you know, that's when I started looking up YouTube videos on self-love and like how to start that off. And, you know, it really started helping me, because I was just like, dang, like, you know what, I can do this. And there are things that I like about myself. And, you know, I have to like what I see in the mirror right now. I can't be sitting here wishing to be somebody else, because who's perfect? Like, I really want to understand, who are we trying to get to? Like, we all sit here and be like, I wish I looked like this person. I wish I looked like this person. But then you get on social media, and it's all of these people who have gone under the knife to transform their bodies, which, you know, hey, by all means, do what you feel is necessary for you. If it's going to make you a better person, if it's going to increase your self-confidence, by all means, do it. But that's the thing, is that a lot of people who are doing it are still not satisfied with themselves after the fact. They're still, you know, looking for instant gratification on social media. Like, posting a picture and getting a few hundred likes, or for a lot of people, some thousands of likes, you know, gives them self-confidence. But it's like, you didn't get that from just sitting in your room, being alone, you know, looking in the mirror butt naked. Like, you didn't like what you look like. You know what I'm saying? You don't like what you look like, so you went to social media, and instant gratification, people are automatically like, oh my God, you look amazing. You know, and that's like, okay, I guess I do look amazing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you have to feel that way from the inside out. My mommy always taught me that you're only as pretty on the outside as you are on the inside. And I wasn't feeling pretty on the inside. So it's like, how can I radiate that from the outside if I'm not even feeling that internally? You know what I'm saying? This circle of life thing, like this karma thing, it's real. Like, what you put out is what you get back. You know, what goes around comes around. That's very true. So it's like, when you're putting negative things out about yourself, that's what you're going to believe. That's what your subconscious is going to believe about yourself. And I was like, you know what? I got to stop surrounding myself with things that make me feel worse about myself. Like, my friend, she ended up telling me, like, you know, like, she tailored her Instagram to only be like things that inspire her. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. So I started doing the same thing. I started unfollowing accounts, you know, that only talk about drama and all this stuff. And so now I really don't see a lot of that stuff. And also, I like deleted Instagram for a little while, and deleted social media off my phone for a little while, because it gets very toxic. Like, looking at all these other people, if they're not inspiring you to do better and to be a better you, what are you looking at it for? Like, to be honest, what are you looking at it for? It's not, you're not growing from looking at it. And some things, you don't have to be growing for everything. Some things are for leisure, and that's cool, you know. But it's just, there's, everything in moderation is okay. But when things become excessive and things become a habit, or it's like you opened your phone, you unlocked your phone, and now you're on Instagram. You don't even know how. You're like, whoa, like, how did I get on Instagram? Because I know that happens to me all the time. Like, my fingers would just automatically go to Instagram, and I'd be like, whoa, I wasn't even trying. Now I'm scrolling, and now I'm deep in, and now I'm like on Beyonce's page, and like all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Looking up new hairstyles to do or whatever. And it's like, dang, what am I really gaining from this? Like, in this time, I had homework I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? I have, you know, I'm not feeling good about myself. And that's the other thing, is like, I stopped beating myself up for the stuff that I wasn't getting done necessarily. Because it's like, you're already thinking this stuff. You're already thinking all these negative thoughts about yourself. You already don't love yourself. You already don't like yourself. So I'm not finna guilt myself if I feel bad about myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I say one day, I'm not doing any homework tonight, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, that's what I'm doing. And that's just that. You know, there's nothing else for me to do. And so, you know, I want to go ahead and try to wrap this up, because this is becoming very long. This is almost 40 minutes. But yeah, I'm saying all of this to say is like, y'all just acknowledge that there's a problem. Acknowledge that, you know, I do want to do better. I want to be a better me. Like, just acknowledge it. Like, you don't have to sit here and, and it's like, well, y'all can do that, but I can't do that. You can, like, you can do it too. Like, you can love yourself too. It is hard. But that's the thing also, is that you have to be willing to do the work. And so once I started embarking on the journey of getting my mind to a healthy state, the pounds started falling off of me. I don't know what I weighed. The last time I got weighed, I was like 140 or something like that. So I'm almost back down to my high school weight. You know what I'm saying? Or I might be back at 135. I don't know. And like I did start, like I was on antidepressants, which made me nauseous. So I wasn't eating, because I didn't feel like I could keep any food down. And I would be tied to the bed and, tired, and it wasn't working out. And so I would smoke weed in order to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you get the munchies when you smoke. And it's like, once I did, I started realizing, like, this is a real problem. Because I can't eat unless I smoke now. I didn't want to be on the antidepressants anymore. I felt like I had gotten over the hump, and that's the thing. People have a misconception about antidepressants, and it's like, if you get stuck on them, it definitely is a problem. But they're meant to get you over the hump. When you're in the hole and it's a deep, deep, dark abyss, the antidepressants are meant to just get you back on the ground level. You know what I'm saying? And once you're back on the ground level and you're on your knees and you're crawling, you learn how to walk again. And once you're walking again, you don't have to use them anymore, And so that's what I was realizing. I was like, you know what? I don't want to be on these antidepressants anymore. I don't want to be tied to smoking weed every day because I can't eat. So I'm not, I want to just chill out, And it's also like when you're doing that, you're not addressing a real problem. So anyway, once again, I'm getting off of topic. But I just want to let the people who are out there, and it's like they're not feeling themselves right now, and it's hard to get out of bed. Oh, a leaf. It's hard to get out of bed. Like, you don't feel like you love yourself. You don't feel like you have any good qualities. Like, just think back, like, what did you like about yourself the most when you were like a little kid? Like, what do you miss about yourself? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I miss things about myself, because I was like, I used to have fun. I used to like not be caring. Like, I used to have fun without drinking or smoking. You know what I'm saying? And then I got tied to the idea that, in order to have fun, you gotta you gotta be turning up. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it once it becomes a habit, then that's when it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Once again, everything in moderation is okay. But I would just encourage you, just sit down and write what's going on. Get you like a journal. And that's what I did. I got a journal, and I was like, self-love journey. Like, I wrote the date and the time that I started. It was like February something. And I was just like, I'm going to start on my self-love journey. I'm going to figure out how to do this. Because at this point, when you talk to your friends or you talk to your parents, they don't necessarily understand it, because, maybe they've been avoiding their real issues or whatever. And it's like, that might not be true. They just might not understand it. They might not go through the same things you go through, and people are going to give you their opinion based off of their own experiences. And that's not always helpful, because you guys are different people. You know what I'm saying? And also, you don't want to unload on everyone that's around you, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to create a headache, for yourself. And as you do change, people are going to hold you to expectations of how you used to be, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to, be such a, you don't have to be a victim to your old ways of thinking or being, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. So I would just encourage you guys to just at least start the self-love journey, because it definitely has helped me, and I'm still learning, but I'm definitely very grateful for the point I'm at. I'm very happy with the type of person that I am today, even though I'm changing so rapidly, I'm changing so fast, everything around me is changing so fast, and it's very scary. But if we stop thinking of things as being so scary, if we stop thinking of it as being a problem, is it really a problem? No. Like, if we just like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to adjust, and that's okay. Like, make the steps, and you can do it. Like, I believe in you guys. It took me a long time to believe in myself, but like, you can get to that point where you believe in yourself again. Like, think about what you always dreamed about doing as a child. Like, maybe your dreams have changed and you wish to do something else, but just sit down with yourself and write out what's going on now, and write out, what you wish you were, who you wish you were, instead of what's going on right now, because you came in this world by yourself, you're going out by yourself, and sometimes it's not going to be friends or family there to talk to all the time, and you have to learn how to do it yourself. And it's very scary because, I'm at a point where I'm going through another transition of feeling alone again, and, things are changing, my relationships are changing, we're all growing, and we're all trying to figure things out, and it's like, you know what, it's okay that nobody has it figured out, and sometimes you just gotta learn how to heal yourself and learn how to soothe yourself. You can't rely on other people, so I'm trying to learn how not to rely on other people, and it's very hard. This is me 2 years in, you guys, so definitely, I would just encourage you guys to just at least acknowledge. Make that the first step. Just acknowledge that there's a problem. Acknowledge that you want to see a change in yourself. And, you can do it. You can do it. It's going to be hard. And that's why I didn't want to come on here all glammed up and all this stuff. Like, I just woke up, my teeth not brushed, my breath still smells terrible. Like, whatever. I have my bonnet on. But, I just wanted to say something, because I feel like it has to be said, and acknowledge that you don't do everything right. You're not perfect. And some people have that misconception is that, they think they're perfect and everybody else has the problem. As soon as you start taking responsibility for what you do wrong, things are going to get a whole lot easier for you, because you're going to be like, oh, shoot, you know what? I did do that. You know what? I take full responsibility for that, and I apologize to the people who I hurt because of my choices. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that, somebody takes this and somebody understands, that it's okay. Like, everything's gonna be okay, and things are gonna change, and that's okay too. That's life. C'est la vie. It is life. And as soon as, you change your perception and understand that things are never happening to you, they're happening for you, woo! It changes everything. Because it's like, dang, okay, if this didn't happen to me, it happened for me to, try to make room for something better. There's always, a rainbow at the end of the storm. After the Storm by Kali Uchis. I like that song, featuring Tyler, the Creator. I listen to Solange. Her music is really nice. Both of her albums, When I Get Home and A Seat at the Table, they talk about, finding you so you can get back to you, and I think that's awesome, and that's commendable, and I just hope that everybody can find some peace, and some clarity within themselves, so that they don't feel so bogged down with the weight of the world, because this is very hard. But I love you guys. I don't know you guys, but I love y'all, because why would I hate y'all? Period. And I'll get into some other things on other videos. I'm not finna be trying to make a whole intro and all this stuff. I don't really care about that right now. Like, that's a whole lot. So I'm just probably going to be sitting on here talking on a lot of stuff. And, hopefully, somebody will watch this whole video. If you made it to the end of the video, like, woo, yay, congratulations. Because this is a long one. It's about to be 45 minutes. But I hope everybody, finds some peace and clarity today. And I'm Wolfe, signing off. Hello. Goodbye. Alright, bye y'all. This has been great.